I'm most interested in just re-evaluating our whole concept of health. We have an overabundance of science showing the dangers of contacts, but we end up forgetting about the dangers of isolation, which are just as bad. My name is Aura, and I am currently a postdoctoral researcher studying wood mice in Wytham and their social interactions and how their gut microbes spread through their social interactions. Networks of social relationships end up being like a roadmap for bacteria to get from one island to another. That is why mice who have many friends end up having many bacteria. Gut microbes regulate metabolism, digestion, immune function. You can spread a certain mood disorder or behavior from one mouse to another just with their gut microbes. It's pretty crazy, actually. We all have a very different cocktail recipe of microbes inside of us, and this variation translates to our health in multiple ways. But we don't know actually how this variation arises in nature, because most of these studies have been done in the lab, and we can't study this in the lab because the laboratory settings are quite artificial, whereas out there in the woods, there's thousands of bacteria living in the soil, there's thousands of bacteria living inside wild mice. I have one of the most intensively studied woodlands in the whole country, like 15-minute cycle right away. It's really great. It's a very good place to study dynamics of any sort of biological system continuously, all year round, all the time. We just need to catch them once, to tag them, then we release them back to their home, and then these loggers that are spread around the woods, they record these tags whenever a mouse passes. It's really great. It's like Big Brother is watching every minute. This is the first time I've been able to study wild animals in a way where I feel like I'm not interfering with their lives much, but we're rather like collaborating on this project. There are lots of people who are trying to develop probiotics to make you more healthy, and they will definitely benefit from this research. My aim is a bit more philosophical. For the past 100 years, we have been very focused on this idea that health is something you own as an individual. Like, I have an immune system, I have my health. And then diseases are something that's spread between individuals that we can share. But I want to kind of ask the question whether health could be something we can share and spread, whether immune function is something that spreads between us through contact. So it's kind of re-evaluating how much of our health is based on individual traits and how much is something we can get from others. Science is not about doing something predefined, and science is not even doing something very well. But science is just about doing something no one has ever done before. So odds are you're going to be very bad at it because no one's ever done it before. Odds are you're not even knowing what you're doing while you're doing it. But there's still a huge value in standing on that brink of knowledge of humankind and looking into the void and taking the one step into the darkness and like mapping the human knowledge a little bit further. Even though it's a clumsy process, it's unpredictable, it's not easy to sell to anyone funding this stuff, but it's still the coolest thing you can do, in my opinion.